So some say that blue and green should never be seen unless there's a colour in between. And for me, a lot of that colour was you, but a lot of that colour really came from this place at St Kilda. St Kilda was where we met, where we learned, we loved, and we lived. And I have many, many fond memories. So I've returned to St Kilda today, breaking protocol, taking my mask off, to come and take you down a trip down memory lane as well. To some of the places that we lived in, some of the places that we shared moments in, and to say thank you. Thank you for all those moments, Lachie. I love them, and they are so intrinsic to my life and to my story, and so are you. So thank you. I was a little bit sad when I saw this place boarded up perhaps, or shut, but it looks like it's just shut just for today or this afternoon perhaps, because I wanted to bring you here because I think, and I might be making this up, but I think the Galleon Cafe in St Kilda on Carlisle Street, just right near the Palais and I think Luna Park there, is where I very first met you for the very, very, very first time. I'd sat over at Todd's one night, and then him and I were like, let's go for breakfast, and then he invited you along, and I'm pretty sure I invited Kynan. It was either Kynan or John Spotto, and we came here for breakfast, and that, I believe, was the beginnings of the Saturday Breakfast Club. We're going back 18 years now, 18 years of eggs Benedict and coffee and memories and love, and it all perhaps started here at the Galleon Cafe. If I'm making that up or I'm wrong, don't tell me, because I'm going to hold on to this for the rest of my life in terms of a memory. And I'll come back here for coffee and I'll meet you again. Let me just remove my mask to where I am right now. I'm not sure if you recognize it again from the street or the noise, but if I go this way, there was a special place just back there next to that white shop, the restaurant. It was called Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf is where I had my 21st birthday dinner, I think it was, with my aunts and uncles. Sue Peel still asks about you. But it's also the place that Todd and I had our farewell dinner for all of our close mates, and you being that central point of one of them. We're on the corner of Grey Street. Not a great street, and not great hair right now, obviously, either. But this is the street that we both moved into a house together for the first time on. I was a little bit apprehensive, I must say, when we first did that, because, you know, you were Todd's friend, and I think I had to move out of where I was, and you probably had to move out of where you were. It felt like a residency of convenience, I guess, perhaps at the time. But that did not take away, I guess, how excited I was, or how great it was actually to live with you here. I mean, I don't think I spent very much time here because I was always over at Packington Street, but I remember you had a bit of a love-hate kind of relationship with this place, but it does have some very special memories for me as well. So I'll see you when we get there. 16 years ago, Lachie, 16 years ago, you can see the grime that's covered the apartment block since then, and the greys that have covered my hair since then as well. I was 21, and this was the place that we lived together for the first time. What an exciting time, you know, for me at least anyway in my life, and to share that with you was really, really special. We were down the road from Mr. Wolf, which is down that way, where I had my 21st birthday with all of my family, all my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my parents, my sister. Were all there, and so were you. We brought everyone back here and had drinks and drinks and drinks, and it was such a great time. I felt like I was becoming an adult for the first time, as I probably should have as a 21-year-old. In many respects, I'm less of an adult than I was back then, but no less of a person having had met you and had spent my time, I guess, living here with you, Lachie. Here I am outside a house which you probably don't recognise, but it is the very first house that I lived in when I moved to Melbourne back when I was 18, not long before I met you, Lachie. The reason why I'm here is actually not to show you that house, but because it is actually on the corner of St Kilda Road, Nepean Highway, and Waterloo Crescent. This is where you, Todd, and I actually first met, well, not met, but met and lived together for the very first time. I remember coming to this house and being so excited, not only because it was owned by Kit Willow and her hot husband, but they were happy for us, the three of us, to come and live here together with Puku, and we were I was so excited by how beautiful this house was inside. I never thought that I could live somewhere as gorgeous as this. No, I lie. I always thought that I deserved that. But how things change, hey? Some things don't change, mate. How much I love you, and how important you are to me, and how important you've been to my life. You are someone who I would describe as the kind of connector to so many people. You were the guy that kind of was driving our Saturday breakfast, and all the people that came and went over the years. You were always that sort of constant and consistent. I want to thank you for that, for being that little rock, I guess, in through lots of different things. Here we are at number 11 Waterloo Crescent, the house that we shared together. The second house that we shared together, actually. What a beautiful house it was. That big hallway down the middle, down the side, with its big lampshades that hung down, and just that kitchen at the back where you hung that art from Cat. Like, that just absolutely made the place. But so did you. And I have, again, so many memories of this place. We had lots of parties and barbecues and things. Again, no matter where you and I and Todd were, it was the central part of such a big group of people's lives. And you were that central rock, as I sort of said. I remember you fighting with me about not siding with Todd just because I was his boyfriend, because he wanted to smoke a joint inside or smoke a cigarette inside. And I was like, we've got the open fire, we can do it. Barnaby going into the open fire and running his ash pores all over the entire house after he told us to kind of clean it up before we went to bed. Again, so many happy memories of this house and of you, and I wanted to bring you here to remind you of that. So here we go, Waterloo Crescent. Hey Lachie, I'm here on a street that's very familiar to me, and I'm sure it is to you, and equally as important as well. It's a place where I met Todd, and probably as a result got to know you as well. The street that I'm on is Packington Street, and I'm at number 56. This house has so many happy memories for me. Obviously getting to know you, those beers in the middle courtyard, having those AFL Grand Final barbecues and Melbourne Cup Day barbecues and all sorts of other events that we had. I felt this is a really central part of that whole existence of that group, outside of all the cafes that we went to every single weekend. I have many positive memories and happy memories of you, and some not so ones as well, you know, but for the most part they were really great. And this was such a great house, both physically, the street, the location, but more so for the love that it held, the love that it fostered, and the love that continues today. So I wanted to bring you here and remind you of the time that we lived here. I think that was your room at the front when Todd and I had the one at the back with that peach bath, which unfortunately is no longer there. I love that bath. I love you, and I loved our time in this house, and I wanted to bring you here so you can see it and remember how great it was and how important it was to me, and always will be. Love you, mate. If there was one street that exemplified Lachie McPhee, I would have to say it's Carlisle Street in Balaclava or East St Kilda. Lachie, when we stopped living together, you got your one-bedroom flat here on Carlisle Street, and I feel like that was the very beginning of the rest of your life, and it really was. You got your own independence, and I think maybe not long after, maybe a couple of years after, is when you met Simon. I think you were living in this flat at the time. If there was a few words to describe Lachie, it would be hairy earlobes, stubborn, outrageous, warm, giving, connecting, passionate, and probably breakfast. And we had more breakfast than anywhere at what was Mocha here, Johnny Spots' Cafe. We used to walk past the probably better ones of Las Chicas and maybe Gattaca down the road there, but we always came back here because we supported our friends. Even though the coffee wasn't that great and the food was better elsewhere, this was our little central spot. We had our table at the back, we'd go for ciggies out the back in the laneway. Puku was welcome, Kobe was welcome, everyone was welcome, and you made everyone welcome. So I'm here to say thank you for making everyone welcome, and thank you for welcoming me into your life.